Hey guys, it's the Red Diva. Welcome to my channel. I wanted to let you know that today the focus is going to be on ColourPop and Disney collaboration of the Mulan makeup collection, which is so beautiful. So stay tuned and you'll see a full tutorial on that. We're ready to start the show. 3, 2, 1. Let's go. We're going to be discussing some of the products that I got of the Mulan collection. Mulan has been one of my favorite Disney movies for the longest time, and it's just so beautiful that they were able to do an adult version of the movie. So it's still kid-friendly, but it's definitely more geared to the adult audience, and really, really gorgeous movie. And of course, because it's a little bit more of an adult movie, they have created a great cosmetic line for the movie. So we adult girls or children at heart can and still enjoy this collection. So the palette itself, it's beautiful and it's very big. It contains 15 colors. Some of them are matte. Some of them have a matte with a slight sparkle, just teeny tiny sparkles. Some of them are shimmers, and then there's a few foil colors as well. Just want to make a note that one of the colors, this gold color right here on the top row, that one is going to be called Be Swift. Be Swift, you'll notice that on the back of the label, it has a little tiny dot or a star. And actually, it's kind of interesting because if you don't look closely, you'll miss the fact that it says not recommended for the eye area, which is kind of weird that they would put a color in the eyeshadow palette. And meanwhile, it's supposed to be no usage for the eye. So if you have extremely sensitive eyes, just be mindful of that. Do not put it right on the eyelash line or try to get it really close to the bottom lash as well. Look at the blush. The blush also comes with this beautiful packaging as well. There's two blushes. The one I chose to get is the Good Luck Charm. It is the darker of the two, and they both contain, well, this one contains a little bit more of a gold sparkle that's a little bit more visible. The other lighter color, it's a little bit more of a bronzer, a light bronzer. So since they're considered sort of blush bronze, I thought to get the deeper one just so it would show up on me a little bit better. And then the last item that we're going to talk about in this collection is going to be the beautiful Luxe Liquid Lip. It's got beautiful, beautiful packaging as well. Little box with Mulan on it. It's amazing what they did in terms of presentation of the product. This beautiful flowers here done in gold, and it is a liquid lip. So we have like this little applicator. It's like a long doe foot applicator. So that's what we are going to talk about today. I will also be using other products, both high-end, prestige, and also drugstore brands to create the look, especially with foundation and a concealer and a mascara and all of that. Okay, so now we're going to start with the ELF Putty Eye Primer. For the eyes, we're going to create a nice base for the eyeshadow to go on. You can apply this with your finger and then blend, or with a brush, just to kind of lay it down a little bit. And then pat it in like that. Okay, so now that we've done the eye putty, now we're going to move into actual colors. So some of the colors that I'm going to choose to do today, I'm going to start off with Imperial, which is that top one right there. I'm just going to use that as transition color. I'm going to place it right above my natural crease. These are quite pigmented, so when you dip down into the palette, don't grab the brush and like dig into the powder because you're going to overload it with products. So ColourPop in general, they're very, very, very good pigments there for the most part. I mean, sometimes there'll be one color in one palette that may be not perfect. That's normal in all brands across the board. But just realize, you know, like test it out before you do an eye look, and that way you can prevent it from being too much. So I've created sort of like this, so you can see. So I'm not pulling it all the way up to the actual brow because I'm gonna use a little highlighter there later. So I just wanted to kind of let you know why the placement is the way it is. So now we're gonna go into using Honor, which is gonna be that one there on the second row. So with Honor, I'm just gonna deepen with another fluffy brush. I'm just gonna deepen the color that I have done. And so kind of on top of it, I'm placing Honor, so you could see. Still like right on the crease itself, but just a little deeper. Again, we're not pulling it all the way to where the other color was because it would be too much and it would start to weigh down the eye, so you don't want to do that. It's a nice, both colors that I've used so far are matte colors, so there's no shimmer at all, completely matte. And this will allow us to kind of define the eye shape and give it some depth. Already I'm feeling some fallout on the cheek. All that will be cleaned out afterwards. The color Strength, which is this one here in the middle, the last one of that row, I just want to place it on the crease, but slightly below the crease. And I'm also pulling it slightly kind of on top of the other one that we had. I just want to sweep it. So it's kind of like a blend. I'm also going to use a blending brush to kind of blend all the colors so we don't have demarcation lines. The color Undefeated, which is this one right here, right there. Okay. Going from the crease to the lash line, but focusing on the outer, the second half, the outer half. I'm going to get a smaller brush and just work on defining, sort of like a denser brush, work on defining a little bit more. I use one called True. It's like right there next to the one that we just used. It's one of the two deepest colors that we have. I just want to emphasize the crease corner. I think that we're good for now in terms of what's on the lid. Let me just get the blending brush, which was like a fluffy one, just to kind of gel everything together so it doesn't look harsh. So this is a little bit more of a dramatic look, guys. You can do softer looks, obviously, with this palette. So it gives you a lot of options. That's basically the main idea of this collection and of this palette. You can go dramatic, but you don't have to be dramatic the whole time. There's enough colors there that are beautiful and that you can tone down. Even the darker ones, even the metallic finished ones, you can do just a little dab of it, just a little spot, a little hint of it, and get away with that. I want to finish sort of defining the eye, and I'm going to be using the Breakup Proof Waterproof Retractable Eyeliner by Wet n Wild. This is a great steal, guys. It retails for something like $2.99. It's just so great. It's like really rich and it doesn't smudge. It really stays on. So now I'm going to line so I was below the lash line on the waterline. Now I'm going to apply the pencil above the lash line, like on the actual lid, but really, really tight. This will not be the only eyeliner I'm going to be using. I am going to be using a liquid black magnetic liner on top of this in a few minutes to apply my magnetic lashes, which I really, really love. Now what I want to do is I want to use the wipe and wipe any excess. Okay, so that's what we're going to do now. And I'm going to use the wipe to kind of help with the eye shape as well, so we get a nice lift. I want to be able to put some mascara on the eyelashes before applying the fake lashes, so because you want to thicken your own a little bit. So I'm using NYX On the Rise Volume Lift Mascara right here. I got it not too long ago. It's got an interesting brush. It's like a rubber brush. Yeah, right there. It's a rubber brush, and it has sort of like an hourglass shape to it. Okay. My trick to creating thicker lashes is to kind of do like a little zigzag motion. So as you're combing the product through the lashes, you're doing a little zigzag. So I apply a little bit on the base to start. And then I do the little zigzag. So zig, 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 zig. and then sort of brush it through. Zig, 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 zig. And then comb it through. I don't know if it shows up in the camera because it is very subtle. Now I'm just brushing it through, depositing some more color, a little zigzag right on the outer corner. So we're going to go into the face. So I'm going to do skincare off camera, and then I'll be back so we can go ahead and do the primer, foundation, concealer on the face, do the complexion, and then finish the last few touches of the eyes, cheeks, and lips, and then we'll be ready to go, okay? Okay, so we did the skincare, eye cream, face cream, serum, everything. And so now what we're going to be doing is we're going to be perfecting the complexion. So I'm going to start off with LA Girl Pro Prep HD Color Correcting Face Primer. And it is called Cool Pink. It illuminates the skin tone. So you can see it right there. And so I'm going to be, I just got it actually, and I've only used it once before just to test it out first. It's really nice. It actually compares to a lot of those high-end primers out there that I've worked with different companies, and I have tried them on myself as well as different clients. So, but I really, really like this a lot, and it was very inexpensive because, you know, LA Girl is quite the inexpensive brand. So, but that doesn't mean that they don't have good products. Actually, they have really good products. Anything that I could do to make the skin look fresh, you could see already how it gave me a glow right there. You see? The next thing I'm going to use is going to be Estee Lauder. So this is, we go from a very inexpensive drugstore brand to something that is more prestige. This is something that came out maybe a few months back. I think it was right around the time, right before the coronavirus shut everything down. So this is Estee Lauder Futurist Hydra Rescue Moisturizing Makeup with Broad Spectrum SPF 45. It comes in this kind of like tube, golden tube. I know that the metallic packaging doesn't really allow the camera to pick up the print that's on it, but it has a pump, so that's really nice. And you can apply this with a brush, you can apply this with a sponge, or you can apply it with your fingertips. So I'm going to use my hands in this case. I know that, you know, and then we can use the other things to kind of buff and blend, but I kind of like this one because this is almost, whenever they have this type of packaging, I almost feel like it's more, I compare it to like the BB and the CC cream from like IT Cosmetics. So it's got that sort of like high sunscreen, very hydrating skincare ingredients built into the formula, as well as pigment, of course. So it's almost like a treatment fused with foundation into one, and it's sort of like that type of, the packaging sort of kind of gives that impression as well. Sort of like a high-end BB cream or CC cream and stuff like that. But so with those, I tend to want to apply with my hands more than with a brush or a sponge. But just to kind of lay down the product, make sure that I'm not over applying. But it is a beautiful color. I'm using 1N2 Ecru. That's the color. So I really love it because I have the freckles, and I don't mind the freckles necessarily, but I do want to even everything out so it's a little bit more even. Just kind of laying the product down, and then kind of go over the areas that I want more coverage. So as you can see, you can still see my freckles. The whole point with the foundation is not to sit there and like erase it completely. I've noticed that if I use a completely matte full coverage foundation, it really starts to dry and really starts to crack, you know, and it doesn't look like real skin. Because people know that I have freckles, obviously, because I have freckles in the rest of my body. So if the face is completely like void of any freckles or anything, and then the rest of my body's totally freckly. It's like, what? what was that? So now we're going to go into the concealer. Now we're going back again to a really popular drugstore brand, which is NYX. I'm going to be using the Born to Glow Radiant Concealer, and it comes with a little squeeze tube with a little spongy applicator. I'm going to put some down, squeezing the tube lightly, like that. And with the foundation brush, I'm just going to lightly place it and tap it in so you get that nice under eye glow. And I'm going to just kind of bring it down as well. Kind of fan them out a little bit, because it is a radiance, so that way it hits that light point right there, you know. And if you want just sort of I applied it right on top of the Cupid's bow, which is the top part of the lip. And then the last one is going to be right down the center. So then I want to be able to contour a little bit before I go ahead and set the makeup and everything. So I'm going to be using, the contour is going to be a Facestick from H&M. There's a lot of brands. You can go to Ulta, you can go to Sephora, you can go to CVS, whatever, and find yourself a contour stick. Or you can do, which I do have here on hand, you can use this palette from NYX. So you can use that as well. So again, going back to the contour stick. So what we want to do is just kind of find the placements of it, and also warm up a little bit on the outer parts of the face, maybe a little bit on the nose. So I'm going to start with, the reason I'm puckering up is because I want to make sure that I get it right. But I'm doing it sort of above the actual bone, because I don't want to do it lower and then my second half of the face, it's like very short, and then it's going to pull everything. We want to keep that lift look up. Then here I just do little dots like that. Okay. I want to be able to shorten the nose just a bit, so I like to sort of, okay. I'm going to use a synthetic brush that is flat and kind of thin. I'm going to just tap into the contour stick a little bit, and I'm just going to draw a line. Okay. All right. Then we're going to do a little mark right there. Oh, see? See, a little line across creates a little button nose. Isn't that cute? Isn't that cute? Look at that. I got a little button nose down. All right. Sounds good. You know what I feel like? I love those Dr. Seuss animations. Well, one of my favorites is actually the Grinch, you know, and I love the, what is it, the Who's? The Whoville? The Who's, yeah. I just love the way that they did their makeup. You know, obviously they're wearing prosthetic noses and cheeks and everything, you know, like latex and stuff like that. But I just think it's the cutest thing. Just the way that they reshaped all of the actresses' faces. It's adorable. I just really love that. The next part is the side of the chin or the jaw. And you can bring it up from there. You can bring it up there. That's why I like the sticks, to be honest. You know, the palettes of the creamy products, that's fine, but then you have to, you know, do it with a brush or whatever, and it just, it's okay, but I think that the placement of the stick is much easier. I'm gonna just do some little lines here and there. Okay. All right. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to use sort of a flat foundation or concealer or angle brush like that. So now we're going to be doing the blending. So I want to make sure very lightly, because it's like you want to have it, but you don't want to have it. You want it to be there, but not obvious to the eye, so that way people don't see those lines. Not too bad, right? Oh, I don't know what happened. All right. And then with the jaw, in my case, by sticking it out, then I can get a nice sharper feeling for the jaw. And then blend down. Okay. I'm going to go back with the concealer a little bit, and I'm just going to tap into there. Foundation brush that I used to blend the concealer, just kind of going over on top of that. All right, back to that flat one. Gonna blend in, and again, don't bring it too far forward. Just kind of stick halfway. Go upward in the temple area, and just kind of pat in those little dots that we made. Now I'm going to set the under eye area. I'm going to use a product that I haven't tried before. It's from BH Cosmetics. It comes like this. And it is an under eye brightening powder sorry, in Fairlight. Yeah, I'm going to get this kind of fluffy brush like this, just to kind of set the concealer. Again, I'm going to double check to make sure that there's nothing has set in the lines, guys, because once you put that powder down, it's a wrap. It's totally a wrap. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and place that powder under the eye. And then for the rest of the face, I'm using the ELF HD powder. And this one is soft luminance. So I'm going to use sort of like a tapered, really fluffy brush. And then I'm just kind of pressing down. The next thing I want to do is I want to bring down a little bit of that black eyeliner that I was using earlier. Okay. And I want to sort of connect the top lash with the bottom lash and just kind of give a little bit. You see what I did in the corner? Yep. Okay. So now I'm deepening that corner. My eyes tend to show that waterline, the upper and the lower, and that's why filling in that can really kind of give that shape that you're looking for. I'm going to use this little tiny little brush. It's like a fluffy brush, but it's very tiny. Okay. I'm going to go back to Undefeated, which is this one right here, that metallic one that I have like all over the lid. You see, and it just by going over that eyeliner, the black waterproof eyeliner, which can be a little hard, or harsh, by going over it with a dampened brush with that eyeshadow, you are giving the eyes a beautiful shape. You're softening that hard line, but you also have the depth of the line underneath. I'm going to dampen the brush. It's going to be another little tiny brush for extra precision. And I'm going to go on Strike a Match, which is one of those foil type of colors. So I'm going to just tap into that eyeshadow. And what I want to do is, I'm going to work on my eyebrows now. So eyebrows, I'm using the NYX Dip, Shape, and Go in short, upward motions. I'm going to use a little bit of the concealer. Okay. Okay, so I have the magnetic lashes. I'm using the Kiss magnetic eyeliner first, and then I'm going to use the Tempt lashes. Okay, so I'm going to follow. First, you have to shake it really well, so because if not, you will not have enough magnetic particles in the liner. Okay, now it should be really good. It's a liquid liner. It's got that little tiny, teeny, tiny brush. Okay, and so I'm gonna like pass that across. And I'm just gonna place them right on magnet. Isn't that cool? If you make a mistake and you want to move it, you could just unlift it and move it back up. But I like that. I like that a lot. I'm going to go back with the mascara, and now I'm just going to mascara up the bottom lashes. Now we're ready for the Mulan blush. Okay, this blush is called Good Luck Charm, so it's one of the 2 shades that they have. We're going to use like an angle fluffy blush brush. Okay, and I'm just going to tap lightly, and I'm just going to get the cheeks, the apples of the cheeks, but really placing it high on the apples. There we are. I like it because it's got the radiance built in. It does have the little gold sparkles in there, so it's almost like it's a sparkly blush, but the shade of it is sort of like a sienna copper type of color. So it almost acts as a bronzer. So if you're not one of those, oh, a bronzer and then a blush, like how many products do you want me to put on? And I always tell my clients, really, if you want to skip that step between bronzer and blush, then what you want to do is you want to get a blush, right, that is on the toasty side, bronzy, coppery side. It doesn't have to have sparkles. It could be a matte, but you want something that gives you that toasty, been outdoors all day kind of look. So it should have a peachy or a pinky color. You don't want it to be too pink though, because if you're going to use it as a bronzer, you're going to highlight other parts of the face, and if it's like too pink and too cool of an undertone, it's going to look weird because your face is not naturally that color. But what you're trying to do with that blush bronzer combo color, you're trying to sort of mimic that, oh, I've been outside and the sun got me looking all natural and gorgeous, and things like that. So this color is kind of like that, and the fact that it has the little sparkles in there, it gives like radiance, which again, radiance, that's what we're going for right now. So you can load it up more or less depending on your choice, but if you're going to use it as a bronzer, again, see how I'm like hitting the temple area. So we got that. If you want to use one step more, okay, it's HeatWave 01, because they do have, I think, 3 or 4 heat waves. It's got a beautiful sort of embossed pattern on it, and it's got a nice mirror, which is nice. And so I just want to hit some spots of my face with it, and just kind of give myself an extra little glow. And then down the nose. And then across the brow, top of the brow. And the cupid's bow. And the chin. See, so you can see the radiance in it. Okay. We're going to do lips, okay? So lips is going to be, I'm going to be using the Morphe lip liner, and the color is going to be Scarlet. Now we're going to get to try the Luxe Liquid Lip, and the color is called Strong Chi. Yeah. This is lighter. The texture is much lighter than your typical matte liquid lipstick, but this is not a gloss either. The doe foot applicator is kind of like longer than your typical one that tends to be a little bit on the shorter side. But what I like is that it has a lot more precision because of that. So that's basically the look, guys. I'm just gonna set the makeup with the Set and Refresh Mist from the Jeffree Star Morphe collection. And I'm just going to mist that up. All right. So the makeup of Mulan is finished. I really love it. I think I'm getting more and more used to the eyeshadow palette. The blush I really love because it's a bronzer. A bronzer. It's a blush that's a bronzer. A bronzer. Ooh, bronzer from ColourPop and Disney. Very, very nice. Love, love, love. Love it. I think it just warms you up and it gives you that little glow. Beautiful. So I would definitely give it 10 points. The lip color, the Luxe Liquid Lip. The color is so pretty. It's almost like a tomato, like a very ripe tomato color. But what's nice, what I find is that it really brings the whiteness of the teeth. Do you see that? Yeah. I like it a lot. I like it a lot. I like that I was able to build it, that it wasn't just thick and goopy from the get-go, like a lot of the liquid lipsticks out there, lip colors. So I do like it a lot. And then finally, the palette. I like the colors. I definitely like the colors. I definitely really like the matte shades and the matte that have tiny, tiny sparkles. And then you got the chunkier type of foils. You have 4 more colors in those. And so those are the ones that I find it a little bit harder to navigate. Because when you swatch them on your hand, they are gorgeous. But somehow when you try to place them on top of eyeshadow that you've already blended and created a look, and now it's time to just pat in that foil, I find that it sort of starts to break up and only certain parts attach or adhere to the eyelid, and then some of it doesn't. And I'm like, it looks really nice on my fingertip, but why didn't it like do what it needed to do on the eyelid when there's eyeshadow on there? Maybe if you use a cut crease type of concealer and then apply just the foil on top of that, maybe that would be a solution. I'm gonna come back. I'll show you the finished look with the wig and my final thoughts, okay? I'll see you in a minute. And this is the finished look of the Mulan makeup and with the Outre Catalina wig. And anyway, so I hope you guys had a really great time in both the hair tutorial and the makeup tutorial. And please don't forget to subscribe and click on the notification bell, and also like this video and the videos that you have seen. I really enjoy doing them, and I look forward to seeing you very soon. Also, I will be attaching my premiere Red Diva episode and also the Thriver Thursday series, which will be a really, really special part of the Red Diva channel. So I hope that you have enjoyed this so far, and thank you for the honor of your time. I really appreciate it, and I hope to see you soon. Bye.